Hello and welcome to a promotional review of the game Escape from Life Inc. It's been published by Sometimes You and developed by Powerburger. I want to thank Sometimes You for providing me a code to review this content. It was released for a price of £8.39 on the 31st of March 2021. It's a puzzle platformer and it's a 3 to 4 hour estimated completion time. Not many people have even played this game or even completed it. I would highly recommend that you do. It's not one of those games that I thought I would actually going and ending up enjoying. I thought at the beginning that the game was very simplistic and very basic and very kid-like, but the more I played of it, the more I actually enjoyed it. So you start out as a fish here, swimming around, and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, but you collect some items and then you proceed to the next creature. So you play as 3 different characters in this game. You're a fish, a sort of reindeer or an elk or deer of some kind, and what seems to be a bird or an eagle. And each of those have different abilities. So the fish obviously can swim in water. You eventually get legs and you walk around on land, and you also gain another ability very far into the game to go onto your stomach as the fish, and you can go into these smaller places that you can't normally access and go through pipes also. Then there's the bird, which can obviously fly, and then there's the deer or reindeer or whatever you want to call it, who can headbutt. And you also gain an ability for all 3 characters where you can use the wall jump. You will need to use these characters in different scenarios to get past the different parts of the game by solving puzzles. Some of them are tricky and can be extremely frustrating at times because the controls can be a little bit titchy, but I found overall it's a very good and easy game to understand and complete. You will have to get to a point in which the world completely opens up and becomes completely open world to you. This is just the beginning here, where you are just flying around and you just need to progress. As simple as that, as none of this part actually matters until you gain into the actual open world, in which the story really starts opening up, and I had no idea how much fun this game would actually be. And you have to eventually collect animals. So as you're progressing throughout the game, you will notice certain creatures excuse me, that are around different platforms, and once you get to those platforms, you will collect and rescue those creatures. And that's basically the main principle of the game. You have to rescue the creatures. To escape, you need a minimum of 20, and there is, I believe, 37 or 38 in total. There is an achievement for rescuing every single animal in the game, and the overall aspect of it is to escape with your 2 friends, who are the 3 characters. So that's basically the entire premise of the game. You do get to a point where you get to an elevator in the game and it says that you're not basically done. You have to go back and save all these animals, and you'll meet a absolute bunch of animals along the way. You'll solve puzzles and proceed through different areas, and thoroughly enjoyed this one. As much as the game has to offer the player, I would say without any sort of walkthrough or guide or any help, it will probably take you more than 3 to 4 hours to find all of them. I would probably suggest maybe 5 to 6 minimum at least. You will find these different parts of the levels here in the beginning to proceed through the different parts of the tutorial. Once you gain past the tutorial, the game opens up and you meet all of your different friends, and you're in a big facility called Escape from Life Inc. And that's basically what the entire game is about. And there's lots of different little hidden secrets in the game as well that I found that I don't even think everybody has found, as the game has lots of different little hidden things in, like characters that you can talk to, from little signs and just little Easter eggs that are all around the game. And I thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through. Would highly recommend this game. There's 5 chapters in total, and once you proceed through the 5 chapters, the game will end. You'll face off against the boss at the end, as in normal games. And that's basically it. You will meet one character right at the end who is a robot who you have been talking to throughout the entire game, and he will help you to escape from the facility. And that's basically it. You just switch with the left and right bumpers between characters, and you just need to solve the different puzzles. There's also one thing where you have to collect these fruits. They're usually a lot more difficult than you can imagine to gain, as they're in areas that you would have to use characters in a variety of different ways to solve a puzzle or to gain access to an area that you wouldn't usually go to. And once you collect all 9 of those, you can go to the very bottom of this cave, and you can talk to this character and he will open a door for you, and there is an achievement tied to that, so make sure you're on the lookout for all of the different fruits throughout the game. And once you've collected them, make sure you go down there and don't forget to talk to him, as he will open the door for you and you can go in, and there is some secrets in there which I'm not going to talk about in this video. If you do want to find out what is in that cave, go ahead and play it for yourself and you will find out. The achievement list, very simple, just basically proceed through all the different chapters and get all the animals, and that's basically it, as well as that little hidden secret with the characters. Besides that, you're basically having to play through the game twice to find all of the different characters and animals to rescue, as that's basically it. Once you have done that, you can proceed on to the end of the game, and there is a point of no return, and they will talk about that. There's a little frog that you will talk to right before the point of no return, and he will tell you that that is it. Basically, if you go past this point, there's no coming back. So make sure you collect everything that you can, and once you do, that will basically end the game yourself, and you can go and proceed to the last and final battle. Besides that, there's a couple of different things that you can collect throughout the game that give you more health or different abilities in different areas, and you will have to do some of these puzzles sometimes where you all have to end up at this sort of signpost, and once you all 3 characters are there, you can proceed on to the next area. So sometimes you have to use a variety of different characters to gain access with all 3 to that specific area to leave the area, and that's basically it. So I'm going to give the game a score now. So I'm going to score it out of 10, as I usually do. So going over the different things that I usually discuss in my reviews. So talk about the graphics. It's pixel styled, so I can't really complain much about that. The story wise, I would probably rate it quite highly. Really enjoyed it, really loved all the different characters and different places. The game is quite big as well. There's a lot of content there for the price, and it has really relaxing music all the way throughout, and the story is just brilliant. I would recommend this game to anyone, whether you like platformers, story-based games, or whatever else. It's a thoroughly enjoyable game, and I would highly recommend it. So I'm going to give this a score now. I'm going to give this an 8.3 out of 10. It was really fantastic all the way through. From the very beginning, you kind of don't know what you're doing. You're walking around just sort of aimlessly. But once you gain into that big open world, the game really opens up, and you can see just how much of an awesome game this really is. But guys, there's not really much more I could talk about with this one. Go and play it. It's out now, and if you want to go ahead and get all the achievements, I would highly recommend looking up any sort of walkthrough or help for this game, as it can be really tough on some of the puzzles, especially. Besides that, guys, I want to thank the developer and publisher again for providing me a code to review this content, and I will see you all in the next one.